Hey now everybody, this is Mad Circle 70 bringing you a special commentary on behalf of Bobby Bart's 1v1 tournament, quarter 3, round 2. Now this is my perspective, post commentary, going into a match with Morley Gaming. Shoutouts to Morley Gaming, one respectable opponent, if anything else.
He's got a rifle.
So this is me, on checkpoint. I'm going to take you through my thoughts, my ideas, all the way through this match, just so that you can get a glimpse into what it's like to play in a 1v1 matchup against somebody that you have no idea what their loadout is, you have no idea what their, how aggressive they are, you know, what is their play style. It's a big fat question mark. So I'm here with Morley Gaming. He's got a hunting rifle.
Try some smoke.
I get him smoked, and I put him down to 9mm because I don't have a shiv. So, up close, in your face, he knows I'm a bomb expert now. I have a Lone Wolf 2, 9mm, Executioner 3, and Bomb Expert 3. This is what I started out with the match, just so that I could get the parts, because I wanted the parts so that I could come into it with a large firearm that was already upgraded. That was my idea. Now Morley Gaming, he's telling me where he is, so I was giving him respect and saying, hey, this is where I am. So we come to a charge at one another in 24. Threw a molly.
Let's see him take this.
None of it did anything. And he wrecked me with some 9mm action. What can I say? The guy had skill. I couldn't even move. I was completely staggered. So I'm already getting the gist in my head that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And it wasn't until later on that I really understood that. But he did let me heal up here. So he's not uber aggressive. He doesn't want to push too close because he knows I have bomb expert. He doesn't want to make that mistake of falling into an instance where he's too close to me and he can't break away if I just throw a smoke at the ground. So he's keeping his distance, and he has a hunting rifle, so that's well in regards to. Now I tried to stand off with him.
Look out! He's got a rifle.
Just so I can see what his movement looks like.
Try some
I throw him
smoke on
smoke.
for size.
I don't get the hit marker. He's pushed off. I try to push off. He throws a molly in. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to be hypercritical of my gameplay. Because I could have played a hell of a lot better against him. But I put a couple into him with the 9mm. I try to come around the other side. And I try to panic punch. But he was having none of it. So he backs off. And then we're back to square one again. Circling around 24-hour. Dancing around, and then he just puts me down, and that's all I can say about that. So I decided to change my loadout. I switched it over to a variable rifle with a 9mm,
Uniform.
damage marker, Hawkeye. That way I don't have to worry about trying to mark him. I can just worry about focusing on shooting and or hitting him with bombs or mollies, just so that I can get an outline of where he is. Figuring that will help me in a stand-up confrontation. I can see that he's running away. I can see everything with the ability to outline him. So we go 9mm toe to toe, and I get wrecked again. From distance too. So I switched over to this loadout for the main reason is because I didn't want to rely on bomb expert. He was trying to keep a distance, so with that I needed to know where he was at all times, at least in my head. Hopped into 24. Now I'm only going to craft up mollies and bombs, because those are the things that are going to cause damage. So he makes a mistake, he steps out in the open, and I cannot capitalize. I did manage to damage him. I know exactly where he was, so I was able to down him with a Molotov. So now here I am. I'm gonna grab this box. Down by one spawn. It's pretty even actually right now. Now I decided to do a little scrubby action. I throw a nail bomb inside the box. Not knowing whether he saw me do it or whether it was gonna work or what have you. He steps out into the open again and I cannot capitalize again. My aim was just horrible. It was the first game of that day. I didn't really do any warm-ups. And of course, he's wrecking me because of it. And here's actually one funny part. I spawned back in and I heard a shot. But then I heard this.
One down.
So I'm guessing that he was down to like 1 or 2 bullets and he wanted to get that extra amount of ammo from the box, so he decided to fire off. And then he went into the box and he paid for it.
That one's dead.
So scrubby tactic number 1, or scrubby tactic number 2, because I had already bomb expert him earlier in the match. Decided to craft up a bomb, that way I can keep the damage marker going. And I'm just kind of maneuvering, figuring out where he is. There was I remember a lot of weird spawns in this game. And I remember not knowing where he was all the time until I heard that bomb go off, in which case I knew he was at, right on the other side of this ambulance. So I didn't think he saw me or knew where I was. So I thought I had the opportunity to take him out here, in which case I did. So it was the one time, headshot, couple body shots with the VR, put him down. And now we're tied again. We're back to square one. The match is halfway over and we're back to square one. Now I have a double upgraded VR. I'm feeling pretty good. And of course I step out into a doorway and just get obliterated. Like completely annihilated. I can't tell you how many times he headshotted me, but I can tell you that he's pretty good at it. And I wasn't always like a single still aiming at him when he did so too. I mean, I was bobbing and weaving sometimes and I just couldn't escape it. Now, I see him hard scoping me, and I learned later on of why. And that's such a critical spawn. When you come walking over to that pad, there's a line of sight that goes through those doors that if you're a skilled hunting rifle player, I've seen it done in games, you can just get headshot right there, right after you spawn, and it is so dirty. Now, I didn't think I was going to get hit by, I didn't think that Molotov was close enough to me, but he's got to have some kind of explosion on him, because he just wrecked me. So now I'm down by 2 more spawns, 6 minutes left in the game, not feeling very confident. Decided to throw a bomb out this window.
Bomb set, watch your ass.
Started making some really dumb decisions and ideas. Trying to go one-on-one with him when he's got this angle on me is just absolutely stupid. Luckily I did get the first shot off and managed to put a couple in his body. Had him back off, had him heal. He throws in a smoke and I was able to craft the Molly just in time to Molotov. So I figure I'm down by 1 spawn. And I remember thinking this whole time, do I buy armor or do I just let it go? He hasn't bought armor. He hasn't touched armor. We never discussed armor. We barely spoke before we actually headed into this 1v1. It was just more or less, good luck, you too, and then we hopped in. I have an unwritten rule that I won't ever buy armor in 1v1 unless the opponent does.
Boom! Look out! He's got a rifle!
But as you're gonna see soon, I actually break my number 1 rule. I try to put a few into him. I try to get these headshots. I miss completely. He's on the other side of this doorway. I don't know how he's going to play this. I don't know if he's going to quickscope me. I'm not sure. Or if he's able to. So I try to play as cautiously. Hawkeye was an absolute crutch for me. in this 1v1 because it gave me the ability to know exactly where he was without having to go into listen mode. Because this guy was actually a little unpredictable. He did some moves that I absolutely could. I'm glad I had Hawkeye, or else I would have been screwed. So we square off again, 9mm, bounce back and forth. Neither one of us down each other. He's in that courtyard. I can see where he is, so I decide to heal up. Now I'm fully healed, buy some more ammo, and I'm ready for us to square off again. Now, I know I'm still down, 4 minutes left on the clock. He's got this nice shot, and he's trying to get me. Now, he's got a body shot at me, but I still relentlessly try to get that shot. That way, I can down him, but in turn, we end up downing each other. Now, that just means the clock is just going to wind down even farther, and I'm coming down to, like, sudden death warning here. So, here's where I decide to change it up. I switched over to the VR with Bomb Expert, and then I quickly switched back because I didn't want to be that player. I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to go after the W with scrubby tactics. I was trying to play it, I don't want to say safe because I still used the crutch with Hawkeye, but I was trying to be, you know, respectful. Later on, you learn that sometimes the scrubby tactics are what allows you to be balanced with an opponent who's better than you.
Watch it!
That is part of the point of the Bobby Barks tournament. It allows guys like me to be able to compete against guys who are a hell of a lot better than me using scrubby tactics. Now, I had him marked. He's still keeping distance. I know I don't have much on the clock. But he bailed, so I bail, and I want to reset. I want to get some more throwables. In efforts to be able to down him, I do remember this. That was a beautiful headshot. Beautiful headshot. That's all I can say about that. Because it was just really that beautiful. So I know I'm coming down to the 2-minute mark. Pressure's on. I need to down him 3 times to come back and win this. He already has an aerial view on me, and I don't want to step out into the crosshairs, but I do want to drop this bomb just in case he decides to jump through the window. Now, with that, I know where he is, so I decided to toss this bomb, not to down him,
Bomb set,
but
watch
to
your ass.
mark him and damage him, so that I knew exactly where he was. Because I knew I had another one that I could try to throw in here just to get him down. I ended up missing with the bomb, ended up missing all my shots, but I'm still trying to charge into him. He made a critical mistake right there and shoulder switched out in the open. If he was back behind cover, he would have totally crushed me right then and there. But because I had enough and I could see his entire body, that was the only reason why I could down him. Now we're coming down to crunch time. I keep debating on whether or not I'm going to buy armor. I don't want to be that guy. But then I remember looking at the clock at this moment and going, you know what, the only way that you're going to win is if you buy armor. So I did. I bought armor down by 1 spawn. I decided to take the dominance via verticality approach. Marked
Look
him.
out, he's got a rifle.
Now at this moment he saw that I bought armor. So he throws on armor right here. Now here's his one big mistake of this game. He threw a Morley to try to come at me, but he ended up actually damaging himself with to where I only needed to put like 1 or 2 shots in him. And I remember seeing him trying to heal up. Just before I downed him, he tried to heal up because he seen what he did. He actually blew off his own armor and allowed me to capitalize on it. So now we're tied. 20 seconds left on the clock. It's crunch time. It's do or die. I want to try to get this nice angle on him as soon as I can find him. And it's not until right here where I actually notice where he is. So I thought maybe that I could come around him this way. I walk right into a smoke, went right into a Molotov, but the clock had already ran out. High game. So we will continue this in part 2.